For this question, our goal is to use Gauss-Jordan elimination to find x and y. So the first thing we should probably do is turn this into an augmented matrix. Remember, our goal from an augmented matrix is to turn this into an identity matrix, which is a square matrix where all the diagonal entries are 1 and all the other entries on the left-hand side are 0. When using Gauss-Jordan elimination, the first step is usually to make the top left number 1. Here, our number is already 1, so let's move on to step 2. Step 2 is to make all the numbers underneath our left corner number 0. The only number that's under 1 is 2, so we had to figure out a way to turn 2 into 0. Since we can't multiply a row by 0, what we're going to do instead is multiply the first row by -2 and then add it to the second row. This is the common notation you'll see in textbooks for transforming a row in a matrix. The first R with the subscript of 2 says that we are only transforming the second row. -2R subscript 1 tells us that we're going to multiply row 1 by -2. Now we're going to take that transformed row 1 and add it to row 2. The last part is the arrow. The arrow indicates that we're only changing row 2 while everything else goes back to how it originally was, meaning we're going to change row 1 back to how it was before we multiplied it by -2. To get to our identity matrix, we need the diagonals to be all 1, so we have to get rid of this -11. We're going to do that by dividing row 2 by -1/11. Now that we have 1s all across the diagonal, our next goal is to make all the other entries on the left-hand side 0. So the only thing left we have to do is make that 4 a 0. So what we're going to do is multiply row 2 by -4 and then add it to row 1 to get rid of the 4. Again, the first R subscript 1 means that we're only going to be changing row 1. In order to do this, we have to multiply row 2 by -4 and then add it to row 1. Remember, the arrow means to change everything that's not row 1 back to how it was. So let's bring R2 back to how it was before we multiplied it by -4. So there you go. We successfully changed our augmented matrix into an identity matrix. And notice what we have on the right-hand side of the equal sign, or the bar. We have 2 in the first row, and we have -1 in the second row. So this reads that x equals 2 and y equals -1.